Hello, this is Priscilla Badsell. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio, and I don't know if I would call this fluid acrylic pouring, other than the fact that I'm going to pour fluid acrylics mixed with pouring medium out of a bottle, but I'm going to put some big dots down of Chantilly lace and probably some gold and maybe some French silk, and those will all create a resist, which I think will create an effect I'm unfamiliar with because I haven't done exactly this before. I've seen the results of putting a light color down on the canvas. That's the French silk, both Prizm pours. And it doesn't matter where these things start because this is basically a starting point, a background. This is Mayan gold, which I think needs to be cleaned out, the tip. Let's see if my Indian spice is any better off. Yes, much better off. It does make me want the other one. I think I'm just going to continue on my way and put some more light colors. That's Frosted Berry. And I know anything that's light is going to be creating a resist. This is Red Violet with golden diamonds. It's a primary element. I'm a Colourarte affiliate. So if you're looking for Colourarte coupon code, you're going to find one for 20% off. This is African Violet, another bottle that needs to be tended to. This is Shiny Taffeta. The effect I get with the spatula, it really depends on how much paint I'm putting in puddles. That is a little bit of Orange Crush. This is instinctual, for sure, for sure, for sure. Not sure where to go. Oh, Jasmine. That might be the place for me to start. Although I think I want some Frostbite too. Another bottle to clear. Like right soon. There's a couple of them. Gonna use a little bit of Royal Sapphire. I want enough paint to work with. This is Mystique, primary element. Royal Sapphire was a darker version and a Prizm pour. That is Saffron. I have a new color called Bobbing for Apples, that I've been looking forward to trying out. That's a beautiful color. Let's just go for it. And I've got scraping tools, which is my next potential venture. So long as I've got enough paint in my stroke to move it to the other side, I'm probably well off. Quiet because I'm focused. I'm trying to make sure that I have enough paint to cover these spots, although I can certainly go back again That's pretty cool. Really, truly, I think I like that a lot. So the light colors in the bottom will stay, and you can swipe away and reuse, pick up with a spatula, any other colors. I'm really tempted to clean my spatula off, and I think I will. I've got a scrape dish right here, and then I'll clean it off on my studio rag, which I recommend everybody has. Keep it folded, bunch of layers, folded in a dish. So I'm thinking I kind of want some white, like right there where I've got other colors, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wish that that Frostbite was open, because I think that's a great base layer. Oh, it's not even unscrewing. Alright, let me try my tweezers. Maybe I can get something out of the top. That would be nice. That's better than it was. That thing, whatever it is, has got to go. I'm feeling blues. Blue velvet. I want to keep on wanting to call it blue velvet, blue suede. And ooh, Egyptian blue. And maybe some purple. Back to the Chantilly lace. And having that white there makes me want Rhapsody Rose, which is a primary element. I will list the colors under the video. Rhapsody Rose makes me want a lighter color pink, which in this case is going to be Miami Magenta. And or, I haven't used any magic slippers for a while, and I really like this color. I'm not saying this is easy, but it's definitely worth trying. Let's just take that top right off, because the top in there is... So you just pull the clot out, dispose of it. Probably not on the floor of your studio. And I'm going to go on for red velvet, excuse me, red violet. And for some reason, maybe because I have a bunch of it, I'm going to risk some shiny taffeta. And a little bit of sour lemon. I suppose I could always fill in more Indian spice. Once you have a stain on the canvas, it's going to stay there, whether it's a light color or a dark one. So your first stroke ought to be your poetic stroke. I don't know how else to say that. I've got more, and I'm thinking more shiny taffeta, more orange crush, more saffron. And more Chantilly lace. And use up my residual without destroying anything too precious, hopefully. I don't know if I want to do anything else in there. It was a paint chip. I'm just trying to clean off my spatula at this point. Not leave anything too heinous behind. More Chantilly lace. Kind of being called to some green. I've got some really nice vivid intense yellow green. I'm thinking Chantilly lace and some of my jasmine. That's a lot of Chantilly lace and I don't know what's going to happen. But I was pretty sure Jasmine doesn't take no for an answer. And my canvas is covered down there, so I might want to just grab a Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula and look at the one place that I see. Come on, scrape up canvas showing. Should be nice to have some color. And the color is still really nice on my spatula. I do use GAC 800 by Golden in all of my paint mixtures. So that means it doesn't crack when it gets left heavy. I kind of need one hand to steady the turntable. I feel like maybe I'm focusing too hard. I see canvas and I want it to go away. I also see a little black spot that I want to go away also. And there's another spot over here. Sorry about my head. I am going to use up all the paint that I've got. Oh, just put my fingernail in. Don't want to leave any gouges. I'm going to grab a straw. I'm also going to steal a little bit of that paint because there's more there than I need. I need that spatula back again. I don't usually do any specific painting, like strokes with the Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't. I just don't. Doesn't mean I'll stay that way. I'd kind of like to do an entire painting with some. See how that works. I don't want to see any canvas. I kind of like this white negative space, but by the same token, it's got a little smear in it, so it's not really completely white and negative. And I could easily let it dry until tomorrow. I'm going to use up all the paint on my spatula. And grab a little more jasmine, I think. I've got tag-alongs on my tip. I just will go for it. See if I can keep the paint chips out of the painting though. Thinking frosted berry in there would have been probably a better idea than nothing. I've got a minute, and I think I'm going to do that with the frosted berry. And I don't know if this is a stage 1 or not, but I do know that the frosted berry and the Chantilly lace ought to be enough fill in there, and it might be interesting just to use what I've got on my spatula to fill in exception of that little tag along on my spatula blade. So I love you guys. I have 32 playlists, maybe 33, with 100 videos on them each. I so love every one of the members of my channel. Thank you for keeping me at YouTube. Really appreciate you being here. I will do my best to continuously... Wow, that was a fast minute. Alright, I'm going to try and shimmer this at you while I can. I think there might be room for some improvement tomorrow, but right now it's kind of fun. And I want something else over here. I think I'm just going to use that leftover paint from right there, and that'll look like it has continuity. Alright, that was a little tedious, and there are a few things that need to be fixed, I think. So I love you guys. Come again. Please watch as long as you can. It's the one thing that affects the YouTube algorithm in my behalf. And I love you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Look on the link tree for everything. Questions are welcome and encouraged. My community board will show you tomorrow's video at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links, a couple websites. I do sell my artwork. I do give classes at the house in Spring Hill, Florida. Everything is on the link tree. Check it out. And whatever I'm forgetting, you'll... So this is dry. I'm back. And... since I did this, I did another painting that I like a lot more. So I'm thinking of just playing with this one and seeing what I can do. I'm going to start with a little royal sapphire. I'd like to use some black and recreate some negative space that I don't have any of right now. I'm going to use my smallest OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula. Now the nice thing about the dry canvas is that it's dry, which means I can carve up and wipe off anything that I don't like. And I went and got more Q-tips, so I'm not going to run out no matter what. Alright, I like that. I think I want some more. I'm inclined to use... Oh, I wanted that. My dish. And put some more paint down. I should have cleaned it out. I usually do. But I'm going to make a palette out of this dish. And that was some Fandango Prizm pour. There's a little blue velvet. And I had some royal sapphire, and I'm going to use some more of that. I think I need it to be that way. I fully expect to have to wipe something off at some point. I made a special point of grabbing a paper towel that's wet. I want some purple. And I think in this case I'm going to use deep amethyst. Probably should have put that horizontally. Kind of thought I'd do some dots and pull them. But I want to use everything at my disposal. My studio rag is wet, so I should use that too. I've got some pink carnation. And I want some of that here, along with some more frosted berry. And a little bit of this dancing fuchsia. That's the new Purely Pigments. I think I'm going to probably add some Titan teal to it, just to give it a more white base. That was probably more paint than I needed, but I'm going to use my residuals over here somewhere. I am tempted to grab some more orange. Why don't we do that anyway? Just a little orange on either side. I've got green on my spatula, which I'm going to remove. Try and be conscious of what's on my spatula. Use the clean, dry side of my spatula when I need to. I'm being called to a little bit of sour lemon with orange crush. Come on out. I'm hoping this will just speak to me. I've got a sweater fuzz. No, that's a person hair attached under my turntable. I don't mind usually having some of the residual paint left over on my spatula, because sometimes for me that helps give me some more textural interest. Unless it's lumpy, in which case it's got to go. I'm very conscious. I'm trying to be very conscious of where the camera is so I don't interrupt your view. I'm going to grab some of this Fandango, put it right there, and a little bit of the Royal Sapphire with it. Use my colors. I still want some black. I'm going to grab a bunch of this Dancing Fuchsia. Make some room. A little bit of saffron. Now the Dancing Fuchsia is pretty sheer. So, oh wow. Definitely not used to the smaller spatula. Seems like the cat got in my studio, sort of, kind of. Here's some Indian spice. I'd like to just feel free to just go crazy, adding colors where I want to. And I should give myself that kind of permission. I want a paler blue than this blue. I want the cap not to be in the way. Now what have I got? I'm inclined to use some of this periwinkle color, which is generally speaking a vivid, intense fluorescent. And I have other new colors I want to try. Maybe I should try this now. This is a new Prizm pour called Bobbing for Apples. There's every chance in the world this is going to take plenty of time, so I warn you now. Now, I'm liking the Royal Sapphire. So I think I'm going to keep using it. Just blend it in with everything else. I do use my spatula like a palette knife, but it's hard to tell. I'm actually liking this better already. It's hard to tell where to go because it's a question of taste whether you like the smears or not. That's Tuscan Sun. That's a little Orange Crush. This is the Dancing Fuchsia, although I'm really inclined to think that Jasmine is where I want to be. So I'm going to grab a little bit. It's almost time to make some more. And maybe, because I like that white in there, oh, I thought I was grabbing Chantilly lace, but I know now it's French silk. I do get them confused quite frequently. I swear there's a hair in there. Okay. Hopefully it'll show itself up. So I'm basically just scraping back a bunch of colors, leaving the patterns that were created by the spatula. And I'm going to use some of that paint right now, right along the edge. And go back again, pull it forward, use the rest of it over here. A little more pink carnation, a little more Dancing Fuchsia. I think the periwinkle's coming back, although I'm kind of inclined to look for the Snapdragon. If I lay my hands right on it, I might use it. It's right next to the Prussian Violet. top seems to be a little tight. Alright, so I've got paint on my spatula that I can help myself to fill in any gaps or create a more prismatic effect. I'm going to steal some of this, mix it up right in place, put it right in there where I can see some canvas. And I like the mixture of colors and shapes. I like making little puddles of paint on my canvas and then using them as a palette. And I'm still enjoying that. So I'm going to grab some of the Snapdragon and then find my frosted berry, excuse me, my Frostbite. And brazenly wipe off my spatula, probably someplace I shouldn't. Maybe. I never did really paint with a palette knife until I started using a spatula, so if I'm not proficient at it particularly, that would be why. And I do like carving things away that are still wet. I'm being called to some of the Fandango. Actually, I should dig up the peacock. And there it is. Cool. Whoa. Okay. Well, that's not really what I had in mind, but I'm kind of inclined to see what happens when I get that fluid. Maybe I'll go back and shake it up. Which is probably a way better. Wow. Okay. Good thing I have a wet paper towel, huh? Some of that paint is still wet, but I think we'll get away with it. So, I definitely suggest a wet paper towel. I'm going to put some of that down in my dish rather than try and put it on the painting. And then I'm going to put some on the painting. And then I'm going to wipe off my damage again, which probably would be, I was going to say, better with a Q-tip and just prove my point. So I'm going to take a little bit of everything in my dish. I'm not minding that. I'm definitely going to use some more Fandango. It's changing its character. I need some more of that in my dish too. I am, for some reason, being called to shiny taffeta. And some of the dancing fuchsia purely pigments. Yes, I scraped it off and then picked it up and used it. I'm liking this a lot. I'm wondering about the midnight shadow, and I see something that has to be removed. I think I was right. That's the Midnight Shadow. Which didn't really show a lot. Pick up my extra. I don't always take advantage of the opportunity to make marks with my spatula, but I like to do so. Almost as much as I like exposing the colors I covered up before I made the marks. Loving how bright the Fandango, how much it pops everything around it. I'm giving myself another minute. I don't think it's going to be enough, to tell you the truth. Because I really did want to play with some black, and I haven't got to that point yet. But I also really like what I've got. I could call it good. So I should tell you guys, just in case, I do have 33 playlists. And you're going to be gone in a second, but I really like this. I'm thinking I'm going to do something else over here, and then I might be done. Or I might not, in which case I'll be back in a second. I kind of want some Rhapsody Rose over there. So I guess I'll see you guys in a minute, because I'm not done. And a little bit of Frosted Berry.